What is the difference between a fashion stylist and a personal stylist? Well, in this video, we'll talk about how does a fashion stylist career looks like versus a personal stylist career. For tips and advice about the styling industry, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Monday. What is the major difference between a fashion stylist career and a personal stylist career? Well, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what is the difference and which career you should choose. Hi, my name is Basia Richard, and for the past 15 years, I styled top magazine covers, advertising campaigns, and celebrities. If you want to learn how to enter the styling industry, make sure to schedule a free discovery call with me, and I will link it in the description below. In this video, we will talk about a fashion stylist career versus a personal stylist career. So let's get started. There's a big difference between a fashion stylist career and a personal stylist career. So if you have been trying to become a stylist, in order to be successful, you should pick one career choice. So now, what is the difference? Well, before we get there, and we talked about it, we have to talk about first, what does a fashion stylist do versus what does a personal stylist do? Now, a fashion stylist primarily works as a consultant who selects clothes for publish editorial features, print or television advertising campaigns, music videos, and sometimes public appearances. So a fashion stylist will spend majority of her or his time on set, styling for magazines and advertising campaigns. Some of their work includes styling runway shows and commercials. Now, personal stylists advise on trends, style, color, body shapes, and will work with individual clients. So, a personal stylist will primarily work with just regular people and will help them, select appropriate garments for and shoes, accessories, etc. for everyday wear, business meetings, special occasions also sometimes. So if you want to learn how to become a personal stylist, make sure to watch this video and I will link it in the description below. So the number one difference between those two major careers will be what type of jobs you will work on. Now, as a fashion stylist, you will style models or celebrities for print editorial projects or print advertising jobs. So you essentially create beautiful fashion stories according to a mood board or a direction coming from a magazine editor or an art director. Now, fashion stylists are also called artists, mainly because their job is to create fashion stories that are more artistic and creative. So they will look at fashion from more an artistic point of view rather just a wardrobe or clothes. Okay, so the jobs or projects that they will be involved are print editorial jobs, meaning they will style what's it called fashion stories for magazines. They will also work on print advertising jobs. So they will style clothes on a model or a celebrity according to direction that are coming from an art director. So they will style also commercials, some runway shows, and e-commerce jobs as well. Now, when it comes to a personal stylist, like I mentioned before, a personal stylist will be involved in styling individual people. They will look at their client's body shape, lifestyle, job, needs, expectations, and will create looks that will be customized based on their client's demand. So personal stylists will work one-on-one with their clients and will not be styling for magazines, commercials, and advertising, but will create cohesive wardrobe for their individual clients. Now, the second difference between those careers is who hires you. As a fashion stylist, you will have many clients who can hire you, depends on a job or a project. So, for example, for editorial jobs, you can be hired by an editor who works for that particular magazine or a photographer. That all depends on the magazine and your relationships you build with your clients. For commercials and advertising jobs, you can be hired by a production company who's producing that shoot, a client. So let's say that you are doing Coca-Cola job, Coca-Cola commercial. An executive from that Coca-Cola can hire you if you guys work together in the past. You can also be hired by an art director or a photographer. Now, depending on your relationships, if you have worked with those clients in the past, many different people can hire you to style different type of projects. As a personal stylist, you will be hired by your client, the client that you will style. So there will be no other people involved in when it comes to hiring you as a personal stylist, unless you're being hired by a mom for her kids or like teenagers. That would be like exception. And also, if you are offering like a gift certificates for someone, some of your services, and in the situation, a client can hire you to style someone else. So now, in summary, as a personal stylist, there will be one person who will hire you, your client, except for those like a couple of instances that I already mentioned before. Third difference between those careers is who you will collaborate with. Now, as a fashion stylist, you will collaborate with many people and you won't be solely deciding on what looks the model should wear. Now, depending on a job, you'll be getting a mood board from like an art director or discussing ideas with a magazine editor on like what type of story and looks they want you to style. I have this video about fashion mood boards and how to build one, so watch it and I will put the link in the description below. Now, on top of this, you will be collaborating with other artists like hair and makeup artists to achieve a cohesive look for a particular project. And the last but not least, you will be closely working with a photographer if you'll be styling print editorial or advertising jobs, or a director when styling commercials. Now, collaboration with other professionals and other artists will be one of the major elements of fashion stylist jobs. So you won't be like solely deciding on the final looks, and you will work closely with other artists in your field. Now, when it comes to personal stylists, it's all about you and your client. Your job is to create looks and build like very wearable wardrobe, and you only have like few objectives, which are like your client's style, their lifestyle, and expectation. So you're only going to be collaborating with your client one-on-one. Now, sometimes depends on your client. Some people might be involved, like you're like your client's husband or maybe like a friend, but like majority of the time, most of the time, it's all about you and your client. The fourth difference is where you live. Now, in order to work as a fashion stylist and have a successful career, you should live in fashion capital. So when we talk about US, obviously you should live in New York City. That's where most of the jobs are happening and your clients live. Now, if we're talking about Europe, you have to think about big cities like London, Paris, Milan, and capitals of other countries. Now, it depends on the country you are in. Not every capital of every country in Europe will have enough fashion jobs to be like sustainable. And on top of it, fashion is pretty competitive. So in the small markets, some fashion stylists do also work as a personal stylist because they will have more opportunities to have more sustainable career. Now, when it comes to personal stylists, you can start in this industry pretty much in any city around the world. Now, if you live in a medium to big city, you will have pretty much no problem with starting a personal styling career, simply because you can style anyone and everyone. As long as there are people to style, you will have a career as a personal stylist. So now you know exactly what is the difference between a fashion stylist career versus a personal stylist career. Let me know which career you would love to choose. Comment below and let me know. Also, if you want to learn more about the styling industry, I have a free cheat sheet for aspiring stylists with tons of resources. So grab it, it's completely free, and I will link everything in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. I post new videos every Monday. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.